Well, in the first half, this looked like a bit of a procession, but then the game exploded in the second half. Argentina looked like they might come back, but South Africa stepped up in those championship minutes. And I thought you were going to score.
Ask a better question, you get a better answer.
Hi guys, welcome back. So what a game we had in that second half. 20 points to Argentina, 36 to South Africa. In the end, they get the bonus point just, which leaves the Rugby Championship so finely balanced, 14 points each for New Zealand and South Africa going down to that final weekend. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So let's get stuck into this game. And this first half, well, let's say it how it is for Argentina. They were absolutely rubbish. South Africa's eyes lit up all the chances they got given, but they took them very clinically. And it looked like they were going to run away with it, to be honest. Now, for the first 5 minutes, it looked like Argentina actually had the edge. They had South Africa pinned. Mostert too keen at the ruck. They get a penalty 3-0. Big boot from Buffelli. You're thinking they're off and running at home. But South Africa finally got their attacking shape going. It took about 10 minutes, but they got it going. Nothing radical. But it looks like the individual runners had a bit more edge. The likes of Willemse, De Allende had a good game again. He had a bit of a slow start to the championship, De Allende, but he's coming into it now, especially considering they don't have Am. And Creel's a good player, but he's nowhere near Am, to be honest. So De Allende has stepped up. He makes ground. They get an easy penalty, 3-3. And it's definitely worrying signs for the Argentinian defence because it looked a bit too simple. And similar to the last penalty, South African basics were really good. Argentina defence just not up to it, giving away needless penalties, which was absolutely a theme of this first half. Willemse misses a long-range kick. It was in front, but, maybe a world-class kicker would expect to get that. Now, a note I made later, but I'll say it now. Willemse's kicking to touch I thought looked really good, but goal kicking, I'm not sure he's a World Cup goal kicker, so we'll see what they do with that one. Let me know what you think they should do. And just another note, to be fair, both sides are giving away penalties at the ruck at this point when the opposition aren't really going anywhere. So the defences in some cases are pretty decent, but then they're giving away that penalty a bit too keen, I'd say, at times. And it's not a breakneck speed game either, so there's no real need to do that. They're not backpedalling. The likes of Hendricks has got time to whack up his big box kicks. So at the moment, the game's a little bit slow, just a little few too many mistakes. Then we get our first try of the match, a very patient maul from South Africa, feeds that young winger Moody, and he is so dangerous, beats his man one-on-one. Hendricks just has to flop over the line. Carreras comes flying in from an obvious offside position, so it's a penalty try there and a yellow card, so that really hurts Argentina, 3-10. South Africa don't seem to be in much trouble, so I'm not sure why they are being so risky at the ruck, but they are still doing it. Etzebeth this time giving away an easy 3 to Argentina. So 6-10, that was a bit needless. And the refs mic pretty much picks up what both sides need to do. He just said, look, just make some better decisions, guys. And that's pretty much it for both sides. Now, Argentina are really struggling with the South African maul in this first half. They were just charging up the pitch. Argentina giving away penalties all over the place. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it for South Africa. They keep going to the maul for that great platform, make the yards. Argentina defence makes the cardinal sin of having no post, no guard next to that contact area, that ruck. And Hendricks simply just strolls under the posts. Great spot from Hendricks, but really bad defending from Argentina. Certainly in the coach's box, Czech will be absolutely hammering that table. He'll be livid with that one. So 6-17. Not looking good, and I am at this point writing I'm worried for Argentina. About half an hour in, the defence doesn't look organised enough. They look a bit flat as well, which is weird being at home. And once South Africa are ahead, they're a team that are very difficult to stop because they can just do the basics, do the power play and grind. So things need to change for Argentina at some point. But it's another try to South Africa. It feels like the game is slipping away from Argentina. They are just throwing penalties out there, left, right and centre. Springbok eyes just light up. They go, fine, we'll have a 5-metre maul. Just too easy. Cruise over, 6-22. That was Malcolm Marks. He had another really good game, actually. And let's say it how it is. At this point, it's just a horror show from Argentina. They then muck up 2 terrible line-out drills, which they really shouldn't be doing. They're just shooting themselves in the foot. Can't get any purchase in this game. Michael Czech is probably getting his boxing gloves on, putting Vaseline on his eyebrows for this half-time team talk because they really need it. And that's what Czech is good at. just as they're hanging on for half time, they're just giving away too many penalties as a team, and they get a team yellow. So, it just goes from bad to worse in this half. 6:22. They've got to get better. And in the second half, the checker roasting seems to have an immediate effect for sure. I'm sure he challenged them. You're at home and you're playing like rubbish. Do you want to step up? And yes, they do. The Argentina maul defence stops the South Africans without giving away a penalty. So that's a bit of a first there. And in open play, they're showing a bit more bite. They're getting high balls, getting turnovers. And it's just a team transformed. Amazing what good basics can do. 100% better than that first half. They've actually swapped the scrum half at half time. Kobeli is on. Definitely increased the pace of the game. So it's good signs already, but there's a big points deficit to make up. Willemse again, good kicking to touch, not so much at goal. So again, question marks. But we've finally got a two-sided contest. Both teams looking dangerous. It's going backwards and forwards. There's no clear team on top. It's a shame it took 40 minutes for Argentina to get here. But anyway, we've got a game. South Africa under pressure start fumbling the ball themselves, where they were pretty much perfect in the first half, not being under too much pressure. A big change in the Argentina attack as well. We see them popping the ball out of the tackle, causing South Africa so much more trouble just with that continuity. Now, a little note that South African defence are trying to get crazy line speed. They're trying to flood the 10 Carreras as quick as possible. When it is working, he's having to either just take the ball up or just throw the ball away. But the pace of the attack is causing them problems, and they're giving away penalties. And it's a yellow this time for Leroux, just that accumulation of penalties. So, yeah, they're starting to struggle now, are South Africa. The game's loose, so much looser than the first half, and I'm really enjoying it. But I'm looking at the scoreboard and the clock, 20 minutes to go. Argentina need to get a move on here. And it's taken 63 minutes before we get a fantastic Argentina attack that they string together. They run almost every option in attack, but they still go forward. Loving that. So interestingly, the South African scrum starting to struggle now. Yeah, they've swapped those props. Shows you that the best front rows did start. Kobeli comes off one of those solid scrums, darts for the line. Bit controversial here. Kwagga-Smith, yeah, sure, he gets Kobeli round the neck, but is it going to be a try? They debate it to the refs, and it's given as a penalty try. Not sure if it was, but definitely a penalty, and it's a yellow for Kwagga-Smith. So that's pretty tough. 13-22. If Argentina can score next, this game is on, and they do, because they're well on top against 13 men as well. Great dummy wraparound here. I think it's from Kremer. Pops inside to Moroni. So 2022, all the momentum with Argentina. What a game we've got now. The place is finally popping as it should do for a home game for Argentina. But South Africa, the quality side they are, realise they could lose this game. And they could really do with a bonus point if they want to win the Rugby Championship. So they're stung into this action with about 9 minutes to go, and they get right on it. 2 great turnovers, drive up the pitch, get some penalties, and it's an unstoppable drive up the pitch, and eventually Diolandi bashes over. They've woken up just in time. 20-29, it looks like the game is safe for winning, but can they get the bonus try? Yes, they can. 79 minutes, they've rescued that bonus point. Just good hands for Isma Pimpy, throws it back inside to Malcolm Marks, who's been on there for the whole game. Shows how keeping your best players on can really help. Great hands to take the scoring pass. 20-36, and they get the bonus point. That was so important. So in the end, we had a barn-burning second half. Great to see. Just enough from South Africa can get over the line. Argentina cannot have such a woeful first half and expect to win, so they're going to have to improve, but we can see when they do start to play, they're a match for anyone. Anyway, guys, all the comments on that game below, and I'll catch you next time.